Does Adams have a chance? No. No. This race is between Andrew Cuomo and Zoran Mamdani. Okay. And it's going to be a close one, I think, judging by what I've seen in the polls. But I truly don't fucking know because I just don't know, man. I don't know. Because, like, the scene at the Andrew Cuomo election night party held in a very cavernous space on the 4th floor of the Carpenters Union Hall. There's a bar serving beer and wine, donation based, and a stage set up for an eventual speech. Polls close at 9 p.m. Polls are closing at the end of this hour.
Everyone, we are approaching the dawn of a new era in New York City. We are turning the page on the corrupt politics of the past that made this the most expensive city in the United States of America. Today, I am filled with gratitude for the more than 50,000 volunteers that have powered this campaign for the last 8 months, for the tens of thousands more who have already cast their ballots. And I'm filled with conviction that we will win this race. We've shown that by focusing on the issues of working and middle-class New Yorkers across this city, that by listening instead of lecturing, that by creating a politics of no translation, New Yorkers will join you in your fight for a new city. What we offer is a way to sustain this city that I so deeply love. What we offer is a vision to keep New Yorkers in the place that they call home, and an antidote to the Trump administration and the hatred and the division that it spews. We are showing people that hope is not something that is naive, in fact righteous, when it is built upon a plan and a vision. We are showing New York City that a better day is possible, and today is the first of many of them. Thank you so much.
We're not going to have a definitive result for days. Don't expect an outcome tonight. It could be as late as July 1st until we know who wins. Yeah, I'm stressed.
Used this past weekend in a precision, perfection way.
It's illegal, unconstitutional.
It is not illegal.
Of course,
in
it's violation
shape,
of international
the United
law.
States
You can't violate national sovereignty of a country.
Why?
Why?
We do it all the time.
I know, because America violates international law all the time.
Who's
going to stop us?
Decades,
you would think morality.
Used this past weekend.
Who's going to stop us? Look at this douchebag's face. Dude, one day we are probably going to experience what goes around comes around. Oh my God. I mean, holy f***. What an insane thing to say, man. What a piece of shit. Let's talk about Mamdani.
We have just begun our walk through the entirety of Manhattan. We're at Inwood Hill Park at the tip top. We're outside because New Yorkers deserve a mayor that they can see, they can hear, they can even yell at. Good, bro. Election's on Tuesday.
Yeah? Tuesday!
Thank you, my brother. Hey, we're
Yeah, everybody contento, my friend.
Hola, mucho gusto. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, brother.
Yes, you know that. You know that. Only the greatness, you know what I'm saying?
Good. When we launched this campaign on a cold October evening, few thought we could win. Thank you, my man. I'll see you. Thank you. But I always knew that we would build a campaign just like this. Just voted today. Just voted today. Over 1 million doors knocked, more than 40,000 volunteers. You are the beating heart of this campaign.
It is pretty wild that this is even a close race because Andrew Cuomo would never be able to bring this kind of momentum to anything. And I don't know how to contend with that reality where overwhelming moneyed interests can just like, and institutional recognition and all of the party's infrastructure can just like not even mobilize people in the same way, but can just like hold on to power. It doesn't matter. People don't need to be excited at all about a candidate. People don't need to feel hopeful. And basically, every clip of Cuomo is him somehow fleeing the residents of New York. I don't know anymore, man. I really don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand. There have been a couple once-in-a-lifetime candidates like Jeremy Corbyn. They f***ed him, you know. Zoran Mamdani is another example. And they're actively trying to rat Zoran as well. Bernie Sanders. Reminder that Cuomo is expected to be ahead in the first round. It's a matter of how much. If he's ahead by 2 or 3, he's toast. If it's 5 to 6, it's a toss-up. 10% or more, it's over. Also, here's a good live stream to follow for
Washington,
coverage.
Sandra Vanoker. Good evening.
The f*** is this?
Excuse me, madam.
Here, look at that. Watch Eyewitness News.
I just don't get it.
You gotta win. You gotta win. Thank you so much. You got this. I appreciate it. You have climbed 6-floor walk-ups and braved the pouring rain to canvass our city.
Wait, we both have canvas for you.
Can't wait to have you here.
You have shared our message with the very New Yorkers you've lived alongside for years, but never had the chance to meet. And make no mistake, this campaign is reaching every corner of this city. I'm voting for you!
Oh my gosh. I love volunteering for you. Thank you.
To everyone who pulls me aside to whisper with the best intentions, you have already won. I am sorry, but the days of moral victories are over.
This is right. This is the best part of the speech.
Because this is a campaign that is going to win on June 24th. And it's thanks to each and every one of you.
Yeah, this walk was right after he had death threats. Just a heads up, that first election results update includes about 50,000 mail ballots favorable to Cuomo and 384,000 early votes favorable to Mamdani relatively. If Mamdani's up by 10% and or 43,400 votes after all this drops, he'll be in good shape. In case you weren't sure if Zoran had the youth vote, I just got this text. I mean, dude, here's the thing. Is Twitter real life or not? Like, our television, is this going to be a Twitter poster, you know, people who enjoy podcasts and the New York City like youth vote turnout versus people who just watch TV and see an ad and go, oh, I think Zoran is going to put homeless people in the subway stations. Like, he wants to put the homeless in the subways. More homeless in the subways, please. Need a 5,000 word profile on the Mamdani whale yesterday. A user called Gay Pride on Polymarket has $132,926 bet on Zoran Mamdani to win the mayor election at 49.2% odds. That's got to be one of you, right? I assume. The American voter is so fascinating. Uh-oh. Diana Barrett, 65-year-old Detroit, says she ranked Cuomo first because of his record-leading New York during the COVID-19 pandemic and ranked Mamdani second because of his pledges to make the city buses free and lower cost of housing. Cuomo really guided me and my loved ones and so many people through this. And I felt like he was a little railroaded with the sexual allegations, she said outside of Brooklyn Borough Hall, alluding to the roughly dozen women who accused the governor of misconduct he denies. But he just has so many good qualities and he has such a history that I want to give him another chance. As for Mamdani, Barrett says, sometimes fresh blood is really nice. This is a paid voter? No, man. No, this is not a paid bot or a paid voter. That's just the average American. Wake up. I think a lot of you are misguided because you spend a great deal of time in this community and you think that, like,
on this primary day, voters and poll workers.
The average voter has like any sense of comprehension, any sense of reason. The median voter is a psychopath, dude. What is this? 6 Trump voters react to U.S. bombing of nuclear sites in Iran. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. One of the big reasons I voted for him was keeping us out of stuff in the Middle East. Every time you show weakness, they take advantage. We voted for him because he would stay out. The bombing was protecting this little tiny nation, but I don't think that we need to be there further. I'm hoping that his campaign promises were true.
Are also dealing with the hot temperatures. We found some using fans at polling sites across the area. It's primary day in New York City, and today voters are casting their ballots for their mayoral Democratic candidate. Christina Fan, live in Morningside Heights with more. Christina?
Well, Chris, despite the oppressive heat, we are finding that voters are coming to polling places feeling energized. Some are here for a particular candidate, others a specific issue, but all say they want to see change in New York City.
Even the scorching summer sun couldn't deter the political fervor gripping New York City as a vast crowd of mayoral candidates made last-minute pitches to voters on why they should be the Democratic nominee. Among them, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who greeted poll workers as he cast his ballot on the east side this morning. Many of his recent attacks have been
God, I hate this motherfucker so much.
directed towards State Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani,
Yeah, who are you?
polls show closing in. Mamdani, meanwhile, campaigned with fellow candidate Brad Lander, whom he cross-endorsed as they tried to stifle support for the former governor.
We are well positioned to finally turn the page on the politics of the past.
This is someone who is a corrupt and abusive governor, is running a corrupt and abusive campaign.
11 candidates are vying for the Democratic nomination. While early voting numbers were strong citywide, voters were a little sluggish getting to the polls amid the oppressive heat wave Tuesday. But those who did felt enthusiastic about their choice.
I voted for Zohran.
I voted for Lander.
I'm voting for Andrew Cuomo.
I think there's also just so much energy coming out of wanting to rebel against the Trump administration and wanting to be more politically active.
Voters say issues like affordability, housing, and immigration drove them to the polls, in addition to the thought of who will be best suited to take on Mayor Adams, who is running as an independent in November's general election.
Won't say that his entire tenure was terrible, but from the issues that were brought about around some of the misconduct and all of the things that happened in his cabinet, I think it's time for New York City to have a change.
Because of ranked choice voting and multiple rounds of counting that will likely have to take place, political experts say it could be weeks before an official winner is declared. As a reminder, polls put
Does Adams have a chance? No. No. This race is between Andrew Cuomo and Zohran Mamdani. Okay? And it's going to be a close one, I think, judging by what I've seen in the polls. But I truly don't know because I just don't know, man. I don't know. Because, like, people are just taking a hit of before going to the polls, you know? Like, honestly, I think people just smoke crack before they vote. They're like, oh, I'm accidentally here. I was just doing crack. Let me go vote for Anthony Cuomo. What's his name? Adam Cuomo? Yeah, that guy. I recognize his last name. He was, what was he, the previous mayor or something?
close this evening at 9 p.m. Reporting live from Morningside Heights, Christina Fan, CBS News, New York.
If Cuomo becomes mayor, would anything about him being an improvement over Adams? It seemed like a lateral move at best, if not a downgrade. No, it is a downgrade. It is a downgrade, even from Adams, because Adams at least is like kind of funny. Andrew Cuomo is literally more corrupt than Eric Adams. It's kind of crazy to
Emily
think.
Ratajkowski and
Zohran Mamdani.
It's election day today. You need to get to the polls. They're open till 9 p.m. What else do they need to know?
Go to zohranfornyc.com/vote. You can find out where your poll site is and text your friends and family because we need everybody to come out. And make sure you're drinking water because it's a very hot day.
This election is going to be decided by young voters, the average New Yorker.
We stand on the verge of a victory that will resonate across the country and the world. Make no mistake, this victory will be historic not just because of who I am, a Muslim immigrant and a proud democratic socialist, but for what we will do Make this city affordable for everyone. Because after this rally, as many of us sleep, millions of our neighbors onto moonlit streets across our city. Nurses working.
I think about this a lot, but I fear that if Cuomo still ends up sleepwalking into a fucking marginal victory here, it's so fucking similar to the Bernie Sanders primaries in 2019 and 2020, where it's just like the Democratic Party's primary function is to assassinate the hopes and dreams of the next generation. Any kind of additional pickup that they can get of people who just engage in like harm reduction narratives and like marginally better voting, they'll be fine with that. They are totally capable of shredding their fucking base of support every step of the way. They do not care about hopes. They want to eliminate hope. This will hurt us on, but to be fair, the 2019 primary was sort of an end of history moment in a microwave, but kind of massive compared to everything else. 2020 Nevada primary is the moment of maximum hope that I had. Okay. Young buck pulled together an IRL backpack, was ready to go on the campaign trail following Bernie Sanders. And then the 2020 Nevada primaries happened. Leading up to the Nevada primary, everyone was like, the unions are all backing was it Joe Biden? No, what was it? The unions were just not backing. It wasn't even Joe Biden. The unions are not backing Bernie Sanders. They're backing, establishment Democrats or whatever. Okay. It was Pete Buttigieg or something, I think, at the time. And I remember being like, this is not true because I know the rank and file is on board with Bernie and his message. Okay. And we were right. We were fucking right. And Bernie wins after endless amounts of propaganda that he was going to lose in the fucking Nevada primaries. And there was just like so much hope. I remember door knocking and seeing so many people be like, oh, I like that guy, Bernie. What's a primary? I hope he wins. It's like, bro, it's happening today. Why don't you go out? I don't have time. I don't feel like it. And then COVID. And then Super Tuesday. And then I watch all of my dreams perish in front of my eyes. Everything falls apart. And we're stuck with this fucking decrepit old ass monster. The Jim Clyburn rat fuck. What you're seeing with Zoran is a microcosm of that. I don't know. Maybe you were too young to remember the Bernie situation. But it is exactly the same, but it's happening in a much shorter period of time where everybody goes, all systems go, time to fucking post endlessly negatively about Zoran. His socialism scary. His bitches ain't too bad. His weed ain't loud at all. Okay, his smoke is not loud. If Zoran Mamdani wins, they're going to assassinate every Jewish person in New York City, and they're going to assassinate every fucking hedge fund manager side by side. They said the same shit about Bernie. Eric made the video. Oh, this one? Yeah. Hell yeah. HasanAbi heads are all over this campaign, man. They're fucking cooking.
The night shift will put on their scrubs and save lives. Office buildings will be made new again as the midnight shift scrubs and polishes in the dark. And even more, New Yorkers will spend the entire night tirelessly working and return home carrying the burden that it still isn't enough. If New York truly is the city that never sleeps, we deserve a mayor who fights for those of us who labor at every single hour of the day. I will be that mayor.
Chris Matthews went on MSNBC and said Bernie has a coalition of brown shirts, referring to Bernie bros, people like myself. We were brown shirts. Like he said, Bernie was a Nazi. Okay? Bernie, the old Jewish man running for the Democratic Party's presidential candidacy in the primaries, was called a fucking Nazi. Said his fans are brown shirts. And then on top of that, Chris Matthews said that if Bernie Sanders wins, he will assassinate people like him in Central Park. Like, he'll round up every wealthy person in Central Park. And he said that unironically. Like, he just straight up, he meant it, bro. He was like, if Bernie Sanders wins, I mean, I'm sure someone has the video.
Going on here, and is this any way to pick a nominee?
Well, I don't think so, but it is the way we're picking this one, and it looks like Bernie Sanders is hard to beat right now. I'm with Carville all the way in terms of the dangers of what lies ahead in November. I'm very much aware of them. They're sitting on so much Oppo research on Bernie, what he said in the past.
They do say kill the rich, so maybe, yeah, Bernie Sanders says kill the rich in your fucking fantasies, right? This is the problem with American politics. Like, you had just half of the fucking voting, half of the voting population is just schizophrenic, and you just have to deal with that. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to deal with the psychotic hallucinations of half of the fucking voter base in any race. Okay, straight up, like, they will just imagine something happening, and then you have to deal with that. It's like, but that's your paranoid fantasy, man. What do you mean? That's just not real, you know?
It's about world affairs, how far left he is. I'm not sure how far left he is, but they're going to make the most of that in terms of world politics. They're going to kill him. But I think it's a little late to stop him, and I think that's the problem. By the way, if you look at the pattern, it's dynamic. Bernie won the popular vote in Iowa. He won it again in New Hampshire. It looks like he's going to win it here when they finally get a vote. Bernie's been winning consistently, and I think it's mathematically understandable. Every time we poll, every time Steve and everybody polls, 2/3 of the Democratic vote, 2/3 of people who call themselves Democrats are either liberal or very liberal. All Bernie ever had to do, and he's done it beautifully, is get a majority of that, and he's up to the mid-30s. If you get half of 67, you're into the mid-30s, and that's where he's gotten it a little better. Biden, his only prayer was to consolidate the third of the vote that's moderate and conservative. And he got nowhere near clearing that field, nowhere near. That's split up 4 ways now. And so with new people coming in, DeVal Patrick came in, he didn't make it. Bloomberg is in, he's probably going to survive a bit longer because of his money. But that field wasn't cleared. The only way Biden could win in that 1/3 of the vote that's either moderate or conservative is to sweep it. He got nowhere near. Bernie, on the other hand, did his job. He got more than a majority. I think this is going to be very frustrating for pundits, very frustrating for media consultants. Logically, Bernie Sanders is walking away with it. He's doing it now. He's probably going to win his third contest today, big time.
The happiest person right now, it's about 1:15 Moscow time. This thing is going very well for Vladimir Putin. I promise you. He's probably staying up watching us right now. How you doing, Vlad?
That's absolutely right.
And I'm wondering whether the Democratic moderates want Bernie Sanders to be president. I mean, that's maybe too exciting a question to raise. They don't like Trump at all. Do they want Bernie Sanders to take over the Democratic Party in perpetuity?
Largely people of color. Of those, the majority are Latino, and they are clearly, at least from eyeballing it, strongly in favor of Bernie Sanders, with Joe Biden coming in second.
No one. I was there, bro. I was there. I watched it happen. You don't understand. You don't understand. Oh my God. Is this how unks talk about like NBA in the 90s or some shit? I was there. You don't know how good Tim Duncan is. You don't know. You don't know how good Tim Duncan is. It was just like, it was Operation Rat, dude. They were losing their goddamn minds, dude. Yeah, this was what I was looking for. Like, in all sincerity, this piece of shit, in all sincerity, said this.
I have my own views of the word socialist, and I'll be glad to share them with you in private. And they go back to the early 1950s. I have an attitude about them. I remember the Cold War. I have an attitude towards Castro. I believe if Castro and the Reds had won the Cold War, there would have been executions in Central Park, and I might have been one of the ones getting executed. And certain other people would be there cheering, okay? So I have a problem with people who took the other side. I don't know who Bernie supports over these years. I don't know what he means by social. 1 week it's Denmark. We're going to be like Denmark. Okay, that's harmless. That's basically a capitalist country with a lot of good social welfare programs. Denmark is harmless.
It's pretty clearly in the Denmark category, yeah.
Are you sure? How do you know? Did he tell you that?
Well, I mean, that's what he says, and that's what his agenda calls for, right?
Yeah.
He's not calling for any...
Let's see. Let's figure that one out.
Well, we haven't seen a campaign yet where video of him praising the other version of Castro has been used.
Well, but
it will be used.
That's a question
of
how,
seen how that plays out.
Of how what the effect that has.
Well, what does he think of Castro? That's a great question. What did you think of Fidel Ismo? We all thought he was great when he first. I thought he was cheering like mad for him when he first went in, and then he became a communist and started shooting every one of his enemies.
Okay, hold those thoughts on the Cuban Revolution. I have to go back to the spin room and Democratic.
This primary in your coverage is how I became a fan and what radicalized me. I'll never forget how Warren and others, Bernie, yeah. Obama made the boss call. God.
No one else is as hungry, angry, enraged, and determined as Sanders voters. Democrats need to sober up and figure out what the hell they're going to do about that.
I'm reading last night about the fall of France in the summer of 1940, and the general, Renault, calls up Churchill and says, it's over. And
First 2016 primary, it was super delegates, and it was a faucet of anti-Bernie sentiment with an objectively weak candidate that they propped up, Hillary Clinton. And then in 2020, again, another objectively weak candidate was propped up, and the only thing that people would say is all the voters are actually moderate, you're delusional, all the voters are moderate. They love Joe Biden. Nobody wanted Joe Biden, but they were like, he's the guy to win it. 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 Holy shit, is Adam watching? Maybe. Like, remember, electability is bullshit. It's not a real metric. It is the only thing you use when you have no policy. And Joe Biden was utterly devoid of policy, which is precisely why what carried him in the primaries from all of the outlets that were covering the primaries was electability.
Mamdami. Yeah.
Bernie lost because he did not. Bernie was going to never win, Hasan. Bernie lost because he did not reach voters like me, 73-month subscriber, literally brainworms. People who are still in the hood, not some burbs. I want to fucking Brian kill me, dude. You're still doing the dumb fuck MSNBC line, dude. Bernard wasn't in the hood with me. He was not in the fucking hood. People in the hood don't fuck with Bernie. Okay, they fuck with Joe Biden, dude. Great. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you fucking mean, dude? Put me out of my fucking misery. Jesus Christ. Joe Biden was not in the hood either. The only reason why he was able to fucking garner support from South Carolina black voters as a primary block was because of Jim Clyburn and the instruments that the Democratic Party's machine has specifically to utilize in exactly moments like this. What are we supposed to do? Not some burbs. People who are still in the hood, not some burbs. Do you think Bernie Sanders' policies would actually be harmful to black people? Do you think that he had bad policies for black people? Do you think it's even remotely possible to actively campaign to black people when the Democratic Party machine is so fucking strong in these neighborhoods, within the church groups, and that they get to literally choose who is the candidate? Don't reveal to this voter that he just does what he's told by the machine of party politics. He might wake up to the fact that he's lived as an actual NPC his entire life. Exactly. That's what's so fucking annoying. You've been in here for 76 months. How the fuck have you not figured out? This is what I'm talking about. People behave like fucking bots. That's not a hate watcher. That's probably a Gen X black voter, okay? Who obviously, clearly, for 76 months of being in here, understands that, I mean, has more radical politics, but still, there's always the same, like, there's always this attitude where people just like regurgitate whatever they heard on television. It is so incredibly strong. It is impossible to penetrate. That's it. Wait, what the fuck? That dude is trolling. He's not even black. There ain't no fucking way. Ain't no. I'm gonna lose my mind. I swear to God. I think he was just memeing. He was just he was just fucking memeing. It's fine. 2 minutes until polls close. That's such a fucking lie, man. I lived in the Southeast LA. The first time I met a canvasser was a Bernie Sanders came. Yeah, Bernie dropped the ball with a black vote. Yeah, because the older black vote, which is just the same as like most machine politics, but specifically, like this is the Democratic Party's hardest to fucking broach, most comfortable demographic, black women specifically, older black women. Like older black women vote for the Democrats by like Assad margins, okay? Older black women vote for the Democrats, black women specifically, vote for the Democrats by like Vladimir Putin margins. It is unheard of in democracy, okay? In like in an actual functioning democratic process, this does not happen under any other circumstance, okay? Assad margins is crazy. No, literally, dude, it's 90%. What are we talking about? It's 90+%. That's not a real, like, that is the only, that's unheard of. Like, there is no in modern liberal democracy for any group that is as loyal to a party and a movement. It's not a thing. Like, it does not exist. It does not exist. They are the Fedayeen for the Dems. And it's a really, really robust and really important political machine. But it is directly a faucet for whatever the institutional Democrats are. That machine will never be turned on establishment Democrats. The moment that that machine turns on establishment Democrats in the direction of whichever progressive candidate is winning is stop shitting on black women. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm a black female Gen Xer and I've been insulted all night. I'm literally a black woman who's Gen X and I've been getting shit on all night. Stop shitting on black women. Demi Charm, you are a Gen X black woman. If given the opportunity, would you not vote for Zohran Mamdani? Are you gonna sit here and defend Andrew Cuomo? No, of course not. My point is not for someone like yourself. You're in here. So obviously you're not who I'm fucking talking about. Jesus Christ. I did? Okay, there you go. Well, not Andrew Cuomo, I hope. Holy shit. No, you voted for Zohran if you're in New York, right? My point is, Putin only got 87% of the vote, by the way. That's what I'm saying. Bro, that's what I'm fucking saying. Black women as a voting bloc is a more reliable voting bloc that does not exist in other democracies for the Democratic Party. Assad margins is what I mean, like is a higher margin than fucking Vladimir Putin, dude. Anyway, New York City mayoral primary election results are coming in. Holy moly. There we have it. All right, stop the vote. Stop the vote. Zohran wins. I'm a black 33-year-old woman and I used to feel like Bernie wasn't speaking to me. I thought that by not mentioning racial issues directly frequently that he was uncomfortable with the conversation. I couldn't make the connection on my own between more leftist policies and outcomes that benefit black people like me. I'm so glad I found the space. Yes, I try to make up for that. I try to make up for that as to the best of my ability. One of the things that I think Bernie Sanders did really well was to speak on universality of policies and then talk about how this actually would serve black and brown communities even better than others.
Right here, you know, just now it's just after 9 o'clock. Don't be surprised if those are significantly skewed in favor of Zohran because we do.
What do we have like a fucking mainstream media? I want to see local news streams.
Ballots that were banked during the early voting period.
First of all, good evening to both of you. We are here at the Carpenters Union headquarters here.
The feeling was that Cuomo voters were much more likely to go to the polls on primary day.
Why are all the local news stationed at the fucking Cuomo Carpenters Union Hall?